What's going on, everybody? It's Blade here, and welcome to F126, the My Team career mode, where, obviously, in F126, we are starting the My Team series, and I'm actually going to go through with it this time, not like F125. Sorry about that, guys. But anyways, I have taken inspiration for this My Team career mode to add Ravenwest from the Grid series, which if you've never played, totally should. Hidden Gem of a game series, which I plan on covering on this channel at some point for sure. So I planned on doing that and making the car design and everything themed around the design they had from Grid 1. So I'm very excited to see where this goes. Race 1 is obviously in Australia, similar to the real F1 series. And we had quite a stellar day. So without further ado, let's get on to the grid reveal and show all the teams competing this season.
And a warm welcome, everybody. We're here in the heart of Melbourne. It's Albert Park, and it's qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix.
So now we're on to qualifying here, where I'm absolutely flying in the Ravenwest car. Having an absolute blast getting to grips with the new regulations, which I'm actually enjoying quite a lot. You seem to be a lot better than the bots are in qualifying and in the race for once, instead of them just absolutely gapping the crap out of you in qualifying and sucking in the race. But nonetheless, I had a lot of fun this lap. I'd say it's pretty decent. Australia is one of my most raced on tracks, so it's pretty easy to say that this is a track where I'm going to be pretty quick at. And, yeah, set a pretty stellar lap time, and ended up qualifying pretty decently for the race.
Goodbye for now then, but really we're just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out. It's a new day, a new dawn, a new era for Formula One. This is the 2026 World Championship. New regulations, new cars, new fuels, new drivers. Ladies and gentlemen, let's ride. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 14 corners and 3.28 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles per hour. The close proximity of the barriers make accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Norris, Russell, Charles Leclerc and Fornaroli, Albon, Verstappen, Sainz and Pierre Gasly, Hadjar, Ocon, Andrea Kimi Antonelli and Browning, Lindblad, Behrman, Franco Colapinto and Fernando Alonso, Bottas, Perez, Hülkenberg, Lawson, Bortoletto and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? Alongside me here in the commentary box today, former racing driver extraordinaire Naomi Schiff. A new season, a new dawn, and now 24 cars and 12 teams on the grid.
First of all, this is such an exciting time. But for them today, I guess you would be really nervous. It's the first time you're going to be doing this. There is so much to learn. But at the end of the day, they've got to remember that expectations aren't that high. They've all been there before. They've all had their first race, and no one is expecting them to land on the top of the podium. So just learn to walk before you can run.
So as you can tell, we qualified P6 here. We're here on the starting grid. The lights are on and they are off. Have a pretty decent start here. Only lose one position, almost lose a second, but just managed to stay ahead of Verstappen. Set an absolute dive bomb here on Russell and sneak my way up into P5. And for some reason, you just absolutely dust the bots the second you start using the overtake, especially on the starts. Shoots me up even past Norris here. He puts up a little bit of a fight, even bangs up my tire, but we managed to get around him as we get the superior line through here. And we're just kind of cruising now up to P4 or 3, trying to chase down Hamilton, which coming on lap 3 here. As you can see, I've caught up quite nicely, and I'm in the overtake zone, which if you don't know and haven't kept up with the sport, instead of DRS, it's now an overtake zone. And this overtake edition sends you absolutely flying. As you can tell, I just breeze past him with now my goal to be to chase Piastri, which unfortunately I don't manage to catch him up on pure pace. It ends up being on lap 6 when his soft tires give out and he pits that I end up sliding my way into the lead and taking control of this race, at least for a little bit, as I'm now chased by Russell, who is on the mediums, which you would presume means he is going to pit before me. And that's what I thought so too. I start kind of edging away here with the harder compound tire being the best. We come on lap 8 where I pit, and he still has not pitted, just stretching those mediums as far as he can. So does Verstappen, and it looks like Antonelli does the same. We just glide through the pits here as we come in and have an optimal stop, thank goodness. We end up having a pretty nice exit too, only going down to 4th, thankfully. At least that's what it seems like, but of course I get past by these couple extra 3 cars here, which I see them fly by. And now I'm thinking, okay, I can't let this slide. I got to catch them. So I put my foot to the floor, and now my only goal is to catch up to them, which they don't get too far away from me as we come in here to turn 3, where just off of that zone alone, I end up catching up pretty nicely. And they all are battling, so they're slowing each other down by a lot. And also, they're all on mediums as well, so they still have to pit. And you can tell right here is where this turn specific is where a lot of the bots end up letting and coasting. So that's where you can make a lot of great moves, get around Ocon here, and just I get straight mode. Still have a lot of overtake left. End up coming up on Piastri and just barely managing to squeeze past him. He puts up a little bit of a fight, but not enough to keep me behind. I end up coming up on my teammate Luke Browning here. He still has yet to pit. He's still on the hard tires, which he'll end up doing on this next lap. So when we come up onto this turn here, I get a nice little run on him. He doesn't put up much of a fight. He just lets me by. I pitted before him. I'm faster. We have Lindblad up ahead as well. But as you can see here shortly, he also will peel into the pits, leaving me in what I thought would be, P1 with George Russell and Max Verstappen pitting. But what I didn't account for is Kimi Antonelli up there has not pitted. He is really stretching his medium tires. Managed to scoop around Russell here. And now I would say all sights were set on Antonelli, but I knew he had to pit, and he only has a 10-second lead, so not enough to keep, the position once he pits. So now I am just holding my ground against George Russell here. And he's been pretty quick all day, so I didn't know what to expect. But so far, he doesn't seem to be wanting to challenge me at all. So I'm just going to keep my foot to the floor, keep moving, lift and coast, get some of that energy built back up. We jump to lap 10 here, fast forward in the lap, and I just let him by as he's caught up to me. He's on soft tires, but I know letting him by, he's not going to take off just yet. So I'm going to be able to get the overtake on him on the straight, and as you see, Antonelli peels into the pits. We jump back to turn 3. He takes the outside. I scoop into the inside, and I shoot the car up just enough that the AI will let me by. And he tries to put up a bit of a fight again, but of course, I duck around him and end up taking P1 And again, it's just a game of defense here. And I'm thinking he'll try and come back at me, but as you'll see, he really doesn't. And I managed to hold P1 for the rest of the race. So I think, dude, I know this was a brilliant first result for the team, especially with Ravenwest being such a powerhouse in the Grid World Series. Be able to come in and take a first win on victory, especially with a rookie driver. Can't complain with that. Can't complain with that at all, man.
The checker flag is out. Here's our winner, Leonardo Fornaroli.
And to get a victory at the first race of the season, this might be a sign of things to come. One thing's for sure is that this performance will be giving the team and the driver relief and confidence going into the rest of the season.
Here comes your top three making their way down to the podium for what can only be described as a fantastic day for Formula One.
And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for part 1 of the F126 MyTeam career. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, subscribe. Episode 2 will come sometime next week, but it's back to iRacing for the rest of this week. But, yep, it's been your boy Blade. Remember that Jesus loves you, I love you, and I am out. Peace.